it's wild to me. As much as I like Mike Tomlin, and you got to give the hats off to what he's done, especially these last 2 years. Still making the playoffs, still having winning records, so on and so forth. But we're talking about 2018 was the last playoff win.
Man.
2018. We're talking 7 years. Man. That's a little hard on the say it out loud test, Mike Tomlin. You run into the other problem of who do you replace Mike Tomlin with? What is that coach?
Exactly. So it's kind of like they're stuck in this paradigm of, okay, do we just keep getting above 500, making the playoffs and getting bounced early out, or do we risk losing the best coach we've had since Bill Cowher and going with the guy who probably won't even get to the playoffs? Like, it's hard.
Yeah, it's super hard. It's a funky situation. Like, I understand, I think if I was a Steelers fan, I think I'd be ready to move on too. Mm-hmm. I think I'd be ready to move on too. This is like, getting in bed with, a lady or something and getting real close to scoring at least once, or something, a little victory, a little hand or something, and you go to bed. You end up falling asleep, and doing that 7 years in a row, you might look at the new lady. Yeah, you might think about it. And it sucks because you've been successful. You're happy in a way, but not fully.
But not
it's a conundrum. It's a super big conundrum. The Steelers need a whole life advice situation going on that I'm not sure I'm fully ready to Dr. Phil.
Right. Right. It's so many layers to this situation. And the only thing we can really do is just sit back and see what they decide, man, because it's not like he's a terrible coach. But then at the same time, like you said, it's been 7 years since the last playoff appearance. And so what does that make it, like 12 or 13 years since the last Super Bowl win? Somewhere in that window?
Yeah.
Or probably a little longer than that.
Yeah. It's too long to even really kind of remember exactly, right. What was that, 2009? So, yeah, I think you're looking at like 16. I think it might have been the 2008 season.
Yeah,
going into 2008.
Yeah, the 2008 season. Yeah. Good night.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, jeez. Does it count? It counts historically, but does it count in the conversation? That's Steelers fans up for debate.
Right. And and you got to remember, and I don't know if the benefit of the doubt is there, because they've been having this quarterback carousel these last few years. But my thing is, you kind of had a short thing with Fields, and Russ Wilson didn't play too bad this season, so he kind of shored it up for you. So I don't know if it's just a greater need at quarterback talent to really help him get over the edge, but you kind of see where some of these coaches go when you don't have a Hall of Famer back there anymore. Because even with Big Ben on his last legs, it wasn't pretty, but you had more confidence when they was in the playoffs that they could actually win the game.
But he also took Kenny Pickett to a winning record. You know what I mean?
He definitely can turn shit into salad. He can definitely do that. We've seen him do it before. So, yeah, it's kind of. But if they do move on from Tomlin, he'll have a job immediately. Like he's not going to go without a job. I can see anybody really trying to bark down this tree if you really need a head coach. The Jets probably need to be trying to tamper, or not tamper, but call him and see him if y'all getting rid of Tomlin, he can come up here. So we'll have to see.
Well, the crazy thing is, and the same thing goes for the Steelers. That's a highly desired organization to coach for. You were probably coaching there 15 years. Look, they don't
Right.
fire nobody for nothing.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Right. You ain't lying. So yeah, that's probably the most secure job in the NFL, honestly.
Well, preach. Like you're getting the rope is long in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think the owners be hanging out on Kensington Street or something. They'd be out there sleeping in the drive.
Give him another run. Give me a Philly. Give me another run. Give him another run. We'll have some sandwiches tonight. Everything gonna be good.